Hello again there, YouTube. Tie-Dye Picker 1971 here. I'm just leaving the Home Depot. Got some stuff I'm working on today. Being I'm off from work, enjoying my weekend. I hope everybody else is doing the same. I appreciate everybody who's been joining the channel and then subscribing. I think that's really cool. Please get the word out there. Let's try to build this channel a little bit more. I don't know why. I've got enough things in my life going on not to have to tend to a YouTube channel, but what the heck's one more? You know, everybody stays busy out here in this world between work, and I've always got stuff to repair at home. Doing something always. You know, no idle hands. I don't like idle hands. But anyway, the reason I kind of worked on something different with the channel as far as covering famous musicians' birthdays and deaths and so forth is because music's always been a part of my life, and anybody grew up as a Generation X kid knows this. We didn't have things like the smartphone here and electronics and video games. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, the old Atari 2600 came along. We played that a little bit, but honestly, we spent more time outdoors than we took and played video games. But anyway, so I kind of picked music because music's always been a part of life to try to, you know, to build something off this channel with, working in a little bit different direction to get some subscribers. Like I said, I grew up as a Generation X kid, and music was very important to us kids. That being said, you know, my mom was one of these people. She got up in the morning, long before the crack of dawn. You know, she wanted to make sure that Dad and our kids and all of us had a meal, you know, at the breakfast, that morning breakfast before we went to school and work and stuff. And one of the first things she did when she got up in the morning, she turned on the radio. So Mom always had a radio going on in the house when I was a kid. But anyway, she always had that radio going to pass her day with. Like I said, it's very important for us Generation X kids to have that background music. We grew up with that background music. But anyway, and that radio stayed on till dinner time. She cut it off, and then it was done for the day. And she listened to country music, and you know, the one time during the day that she would stop, it was at midday for Paul Harvey. You know, she listened to that story and stuff. So music played an important part in our lives. You got to remember, when we were kids, we had 3 daggone channels on TV, and if the wind blew the right way, you got the UHF channel. So there wasn't nothing on TV. You kind of went to your room, you turned on your radio, you listened to the radio. You know, they talk about making mixtapes off the radio and stuff. Everything, we actually did that with cassette tapes. Technology I grew up with, I was fortunate enough. I grew up with in the time of 8 tracks and 45s and LPs and cassette tapes, and then of course CDs, and then what we have now. So, but music was always a big part of our lives. Everything we did, you always had music playing and everything. And so I just kind of, you know, have an interest in that. What's happened to the people that I grew up listening to, and figure I'd just put some videos just driving around and put some information out there about those individuals and some of the music they did. And like I said, it's kind of a cool thing to do. I'm pulling a storage unit here. I've got sold something on eBay. I gotta get packed up. But anyway, like I said, music was very important to us. So, you know, pass the word out. You know, and that's why I kind of did the music thing, because it was so important to us as kids and so forth. You know, pass the word out on the channel, everything. I don't know why I'm trying to grow this thing. I've got a lot to take care of in my life anyhow, you know. But anyhow, I just thought something cool to do. Anyway, y'all take care and have a great weekend. And I'm Tie-Dye Picker out. Thank y'all for watching.